What if your perfectly planned heist turned into a setup so twisted it made you the most wanted man in the country? One moment you're robbing a bank, clean, smooth, flawless. The next, you're framed for a massacre that echoes a nightmare from 30 years ago. Welcome to the dark, gripping world of Tueurs, also known as Above the Law, where corruption runs deep, justice is a joke, and the only way out is through. Let's break down this pulse-pounding Belgian crime thriller, where bullets fly, secrets die, and nobody is truly above the law. Frank Valken is a career criminal, but not your average thug. He's a meticulous planner who executes heists without violence. In this job, he and his crew hit a bank with surgical precision. No shots fired, no mistakes, just in and out. But the moment they vanish, news breaks of a massacre just blocks away. A killer squad ambushed a convoy and executed multiple witnesses, among them Judge Veronique Perrot, who was investigating the long-dormant case of the Mad Snipers, a series of unsolved killings from 1980s. And somehow, all the evidence points to Frank. Frank is arrested almost instantly. He's blindsided by the wave of evidence. The vehicles used in the getaway match those seen at the murder site, weapons found in a hideout tied back to him, and media hysteria paints him as a cold-blooded killer. But Frank knows this was too coordinated. Someone had to be pulling the strings. We meet Lucy Tesla, a young and determined investigative journalist. She's not buying the official story. Frank's reputation, his past heists, his careful planning. None of it lines up with a brutal execution of witnesses, especially not a magistrate. Meanwhile, Frank is moved to a high-security holding facility. During transport, he stages a daring escape. He's now a fugitive, a man on the run, not just from the law, but from the dark forces that set him up. Frank knows he has to dig into the past to understand what's happening now. The Mad Snipers case was notorious, a string of murders during the 1980s that seemed random, yet suspiciously coordinated. Rumors swirled about paramilitary groups, political manipulation, and state corruption, but nothing was ever proven. The case was buried until Judge Perrot reopened it. Frank follows the trail of Perrot's investigation, uncovering that she was close to revealing the truth about the killings. Her death wasn't random, it was a message. And the killers? Possibly the same ones from the past, or new players protecting an old secret. He reconnects with old contacts, some helpful, others terrified. Everyone he questions either disappears or turns up dead. It's clear now, this isn't about a heist. It's about silencing the truth. Lucy Tesla finds Frank in hiding. At first, she's skeptical, but as they talk and compare notes, the pieces start to fit. She decides to help him, risking her career and her life. Together, they chase leads that take them deep into Belgium's political underbelly. They discover a secret network within law enforcement, cops, judges, and even politicians who either directly participated in the 1980s killings or covered them up. The organization running the show now is even more dangerous. They erase threats without hesitation, using shadow operatives to do their dirty work. As Frank gets closer to the truth, his past resurfaces. People he once trusted betray him. Old enemies return, but he refuses to stop. Frank and Lucy finally uncover classified documents and testimonies from Perrot's files that confirm everything. The Mad Snipers were part of a black ops unit created to create chaos and justify authoritarian control in the name of national security. When the plan was exposed, the state buried it. But some of the players stayed active, evolving into a clandestine criminal network. As Frank and Lucy expose more, the walls begin to close in. The network retaliates. A car bomb nearly kills Lucy. A contact who helped them? Found dead, execution style. Frank, no longer just a fugitive, becomes a threat to powerful people who thought they were untouchable. But he's not just running now, he's hunting. One by one, he targets those who framed him, forcing them into the light. In a brutal scene, Frank confronts an ex-cop who confesses everything. How they used his heist to mask the hit, how they planted the evidence, how they chose him because he was believable. But before Frank can get more, a sniper takes the man out. Frank barely escapes. He's getting close. Too close. Voice softer, more emotional. Tension grows between Frank and Lucy. She wants to go public immediately. Frank fears it's too soon. They need solid proof, or the media will spin it again. Lucy accuses him of hiding something, and she's right. Frank reveals a haunting secret. His father was a police officer back in the ADS and may have been part of the Mad Snipers cover-up. It's personal now. Frank isn't just clearing his name. He's confronting his legacy. Their partnership fractures, but only briefly, because just when trust starts to erode, they get their break. Frank and Lucy set a trap, using a fake file leaked to draw out the final pieces of the network. It works. A meeting is arranged. A politician, a former intelligence officer, and the man who gave the kill order for Parat all show up. Lucy records everything from a hidden van. Frank waits in the shadows, but it goes south fast. An ambush, gunfire. Lucy escapes with the footage. Frank is wounded again. He stays behind to slow them down, barely making it out alive. The footage? Clear, unedited. Names, dates, confessions. Everything, knowing he's still a target. Frank plans a final move to expose the last members of the killer squad. He confronts the man behind his framing, an ex-security chief now turned politician. In a tense confrontation, Frank records his confession before the man tries to kill him. The police arrive, shots are fired, and Frank escapes, but not before giving Lucy the recording. She airs it, and the evidence can no longer be ignored. The final pieces of the conspiracy collapse. Frank disappears, his name partially cleared. But in the shadows, he's still a wanted man. Lucy's career explodes as she becomes the face of journalistic courage. She keeps searching for Frank, but he stays off the radar, now a ghost in a broken system. Tueurs ends not with full justice, but with the unsettling truth that even when corruption is exposed, it doesn't always disappear. It just changes faces. The scandal has faded from the headlines, but its scars linger. Some of the powerful figures involved vanished without a trace. Others rebranded, pivoted, survived, just like they always do. And as for the truth, it's out there now, but the world moves on. Lucy still gets anonymous tips, dead drops, redacted files, each one more dangerous than the last. And every time, the writing style looks familiar. Frank Valken has become a ghost. Some say he's dead. Others claim he lives off the grid, taking down the system from shadows. But the truth? Maybe he was never about revenge. Maybe he just wanted to make sure that one day, someone like him wouldn't have to run to be believed. Soft fade, heartbeat sound under voice. In the end, Tueurs isn't just a crime thriller. It's a warning, a reminder that the real criminals don't wear masks. They wear suits, even with the truth exposed, even with names revealed. Frank Valken can't go back to who he was, because when you've seen how deep the rot goes, how justice can be sold, how lies are erased with a signature and a silencer, you don't just walk away. Frank becomes something else. Not a hero, not a martyr, but a symbol. The underworld whispers about him. Corrupt officials flinch at shadows. A robbery that shuts down a trafficking ring. A blackmail tape that topples a judge. No one knows who's behind it, but they all suspect the same name. Frank Valken didn't just survive the system. He became its reckoning. And for those still hiding in the dark, they know their time is coming. The government is forced to act. Some resign, some are arrested, some disappear, but justice is selective. Lucy gets her story. She wins awards, praise, and new enemies. But she never stops asking, where's Frank? The final scene? Lucy finds a letter. No name, no return address. Inside, one phrase, written in clean black ink. I was never above the law. I was just beneath it. So was justice served? Or did the system just shed a little skin to keep surviving? Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more content like this. We've got plenty more coming your way. So hit that notification bell too. See you in the next one.